I should start getting some people to get a live chat set. Who's here? 2 people are here. Matthias T. Morning. All morning since I got here. I got here around 9:15. They've been running motorcycles back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I already had the coffee. I'm working on a couple things, trying to see if Charles Anderson logs in on this so I can see. Apparently my wife just left the house. Camera 3 motion detected. So I've been working on a couple things, some stuff I was working on last night. Chris, did you get your knives? Just drinking a beer. Pamela Anderson, it says plenty for all Pilsner from Fall Brewing Company. This stuff, you should be able to get this up there, Jack, where you're at. So, I mean, you should have got them. I sent them last week. So if you didn't get them, let me know. I'm pretty sure I have the tracking number for that one. Irondale, Ohio, right? So, I'm pretty sure that one might be in my wallet. The stuff I sent out, yeah, oh, it's pretty good. I like this one. This is a pretty good one. I like the Plenty for All Pilsner. It's not bad, and it's a good day drinking beer. It's like 4.8%. You can just drink it and wreck your day. You don't wind up with that midday like, oh God, I got a headache. I got a headache because of the weather. Well, you guys want to go see what I'm working on? Since I got y'all here, go look at what I'm working on. Actually, I got 2 knives I'm working on right now. Let's see here. Oh, let's go see. So let's go out here. So, there's my prototype. Let's see. So I got stuff in both tumblers. This has got to tumble probably till 6 or 7 o'clock tonight. That's got to tumble for another hour or so. Charles Anderson's got a knife in here that I'm in the process of doing. I've got to pull the parts out here and wash them off, and then, yeah, it happens a lot here. So I'm doing his Ferox. I'm getting ready to ceramic coat his Ferox. Matter of fact, I can do that while I'm talking to you guys. Set you out here. You can see the top of my head. That's about it. So I'm working on his Ferox. I got that knife in a tumbler, which is the Falcon Wing, a Wing Falcon. One of the mass drop ones that I'm trying to do a specific thing on. Hopefully it comes out the way I'm looking for. If not, well, hold on a second, guys. Let me put you down here. If not, I don't know. We're gonna see. Jack, I've never had that problem. I can honestly say that I never have woke up and said, man, I think I slept too much. Because usually I got like 3 hours sleep last night. Ceramic. I don't think that's going to come out the way I wanted it to. I'm still here. We'll see. It looks kind of spotty. That's... ah, crap. It's got bubbles. I gotta redo this one. Three hours is a little crazy. I usually don't get much more than about 4 or 5, if I'm lucky. And last night I got home late, and it's kind of a shit show. Power went off, so the sound of the house changed. I got home at right about 12, changed clothes, took off clothes, took a quick shower, and jumped into some fucking sweatpants and shit, and crawled into bed, and I plugged in headphones into my fucking PlayStation controller. I was gonna listen to just watch a couple YouTube videos, and the power went out at like 1:15, and I was like, and I can't sleep if there's no noise, and so the power came back on about 5, and I slept till about 8. I was up from the time the power went out, basically until I got up this morning. Until the power came back on about 5. So I got about 3 hours of sleep. I'm not actually a cyborg. I wish I was a cyborg. I bet my joints would hurt less. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. I'm in the process of doing a couple things. Trying to do a couple things here and talk to you guys, and which I don't mind. Does not bother me at all. But I'm glad I kind of wish you'd let me refinish the scales, because I'm not a fan of the white, but it's not bad. I think it would have been better with something that popped a little bit better. I mean, not that the white isn't that it's bad. It's just, it's not my personal. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so it's a really fine stone wash. I'm currently in the process of doing one. Can I really tell you? I mean, it's not a secret, but I'm sure that they'll do a video about it. I really don't want to. That's one of those ones that, like, that's that shit that, like, there's only a couple people that can do it, and not so much that it's a secret. I just like to kind of keep it a mystery, because people have me do that, and I really don't want that. I don't want everybody to start doing it, you know what I mean? Like, there's very few things that I'm like, I won't share that. That's kind of one of them. Because the boys do it on their knives all the time, but nah, I don't have any Vipers in the making. I got one guy that wants one, but I haven't done anything with it. What's up, Yakov? Gotta do some ceramic coating. But yeah, that shine polish thing like that, it's, oops, shit, sorry. I heard it's either a tumbling with ruby balls or something. It's just a really fine medium. And it comes out great. I'm in the process of doing one, but the thing is, it takes forever. Like, I tumbled a blade last night trying to get it the way I wanted it, and I tumbled it for 19 hours. And it didn't come out the way I wanted, so I started over. Still here, guys. I'm trying to, here. Let me get you over here, you can kind of see what I'm doing. Trying to get these handles coated consistent, even. Sometimes it's just a little challenging. All right, time to rinse it. So that shiny finish that you guys are talking about, that we were talking about a second ago, there's no real magic to it. The biggest thing about it, it's just like good ano and everything else. It's the prep that goes into it. If you don't prep the right way, you guys got a dirty lens. If you don't get your stuff prepped the way you need it, it's never gonna come out right. And so prep, 90% of the time, prep is the biggest thing. Like, you want it to be even and consistent when you do ceramic. You want it to be even and consistent. This one, I was trying something new. You can see there's some darker spots throughout this. I wanted this to look a little different. So we're gonna see how that comes out, and then I get a hold of Charles and see if that's what he likes. If he doesn't like it, I'll take it off and I'll start over. Still here. So yeah, the prep work is a big thing, and then looking for inconsistencies. Like, there was some dark stuff that was on this, and I think it was just a little bit of residue that it picked up laying down, but you don't want that on there. You don't want anything on your scales when you get ready to do ceramic. So it's all prep. It's just like, if I got a friend that's he paints cars, and he'll be the first one to tell you that 99% of the job at hand when he does before he puts a car in a paint booth, it's prep. I've done, it's not flame ano. You don't actually anodize. You color it. You heat color, and I have, but usually it was on stuff like Timascus and things like that. But I have heat colored titanium. It comes out okay. I just don't like doing it on I won't do it on a knife, like on a lock scale, because when you heat it up like that, it's not like anodizing. It's not like anodizing with electricity. Hang on a second. So heat coloring, you actually introduce energy into, and you can change the chemical structure of your titanium. And so I would never like heat color a lock scale, because the reason is, when you add heat to titanium, it starts to form what's called alpha case. And alpha case is brittle. And so if you heat your lock scale, there's a chance that that lock interface, that cutout, could break and crack and become less malleable and less flexible and not do the things you want it to do. It'll do the things it wants to do. And so, and a lot of times what it wants to do is fucking break. And then you've got a cracked lock scale, and if it's a custom knife, then you've got to reach out to the maker and try to make them. So if you have like a show scale, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Just the fundamental chemistry of titanium being a reactive metal. When you add heat to it in environment, it starts to get what's called it gets what's called nitrogen dilution. So it starts to just absorb nitrogen, and it adds more molecules and more atoms to that structure, and therefore it's not as malleable, not as flexible. It doesn't have the spring, and it could snap. And so basically it degrades your steel by heating it like that. When we do the electricity, the only thing we're doing is adding oxygen to the top layer of titanium and forming an oxide, as opposed to heating it and causing it to react and do things that you probably really don't want it to. There's my knife. Let's go get my knife. Stuck my knife in the... Stuck my knife in the wall. I see why you guys like the Hornets, now that I have one. Well, here's the thing. I'm out of beer. Battery's about half dead in a... You guys want to see? I mean, we spec'd it out based off of one of the knives. Let me see here. Well, hang on a second. Let me get the measuring thingies. At the tip, it is, come on, work with me. At the tip, it is 0.5 millimeter thick, 1/2 millimeter. And in freedom units, that is 0.02 inches, 0.022. And so behind the edge right here, it is 0.025. So that's pretty far back behind the edge. Let's look right behind the edge at the tip. 0.20. It's pretty much standard 0.2, 0.02, I mean. But it does have a little bit thicker tip than some other fixed blade knives. I'm trying to see here. It's got a fairly robust tip on it. Mine wound up being a lot thicker tip. So the ones that I make by hand are a lot thicker at the tip because they are the ones that I'm giving to... They're the ones I give to guys that I know are just going to fucking thrash on them. So... that's it, guys. Let's see. Blades in, hardware's in, pocket clips in, scales are in. The only thing I got to do is bake this blade. Let's see. Can I turn it around? Can I show you what I was talking about? I went with more of a rustic. So I did a knife for Nico where I polished. Come on. Focus. Focus, you motherfucker. Anyway, so I did a knife, the same knife, kind of the same style for Nico, where I polished everything real well. Well, this time I didn't do that. I left it a little darker. I left a little bit of inconsistencies in it. I want to see what Charles thinks, see if he likes it. If not, I'll go back and I'll redo it. I can always go back and redo it a different way. But I thought that kind of looked, that knife has kind of a rustic feel to it. And I was like, oh, let's make it look kind of antique. So, let's say, can you see it? Can you see how it's not completely polished and it's got some dark spots, some inconsistencies and stuff like that on it? On the flats. Just enough to give it some contrast. When I bake it, there'll be some spots that look gold. As a matter of fact, that's what we're doing right now, is we are baking that. Yeah, it does, and it's going to come out. So some of those spots are going to look gold, some of them will look dark, some of them are going to look copperish and brown. So we'll see how that works out. But I mean, if he doesn't like it, I can always just do a black tumble and another color on top. So we'll see. We will see. So, all right, guys. I'm probably done with this for right now. I've got to go. I've got to get a couple things cleaned up and moved around before Elliot gets here. And then I want to get that other knife scales. I should turn those off now. The knife scales pulled out from that Falcon. Get those anodized. So, oh, hey, so much quieter. Let's see. I'll keep you around for a few minutes anyway. I'm gonna pull these scales out of this tumbler and see how they look. I mean, there's no real place to take a nap up here in the shop, per se. Not any place real comfortable anyway. I hate these tumbler lids. So, yeah, today's kind of a typical Saturday's refinishing. That's typical Saturday. I didn't come up last weekend because I just didn't have anything ready to go. I was more concerned about Yakov and what was going on with him, and I didn't have a lot of customer stuff to do this week. I probably could work tomorrow and still not be done with the stuff that came in for refinish, but I'm not working tomorrow. I need a day. I need to turn that off. Whew. YouTube never notifies you. Yeah, I remember the Tuya, the Envy. I like that. That was a nice knife. I like the ano on that. Was interesting. That's that one that had the that cool what do you call it? Honeycomb, like a honeycomb ano on it. I was like, that's pretty fucking sick. I do like that. Did I ever get it back to smooth? I think, yeah, I worked with it, and it was just a matter of, like, because I think it just needed taken apart and cleaned up, and if I remember right, I did get it fairly smooth. I don't remember if I got it back to drop shut, but, I mean, a lot of that was just a matter of it needed to break in, because I think, if I remember correctly, I refinished the blade on that one for that customer. So, Jesus. Taking the tops off of these. My main carry today is my my buck. My buck in my pocket today. It's my main. I got another knife on me, but that's the primary one. Oh shit! Drop the washers. Yeah, I think because I refinished that blade, I think if I remember right, I just oiled it and I basically broke it back in. No, there was supposed to be some in that box that Dwayne sent me, and it wasn't there. That's right. That's the other thing he forgot that we were talking about in the box of stuff. He forgot some things. Come on. Last one. Work with me. Just get this last one. Come on. Ugh. What the hell's going on here? There we go. There we go. Dave, I do not remember. Man, it's been so long. I haven't seen that in a while. I would have to go back and look at the video to remind myself who even sent me that. Let's see here. That's what I'm looking for. That's right, he was. I did that. That's right, that was his knife, wasn't it? Shit. That's right, that was Dave. The guy, the designer. I think I did that for him. I forget what I wound up doing, all the stuff I did on that knife. Oh, somebody did super chat. Who did super chat? Who was that? Somebody gave me money. I'm cool with getting money. I don't. A lot of people are like, "Oh, you shouldn't do that." What? Take the super chat. You shouldn't do that. Like, look, man, if somebody's willing to give me money. To quote Christopher Williamson, take the money. Busy day. Busy day, busy day, busy day. All right, now it's time to etch these parts. I think this is where I screwed up last time. I think did not etch them long enough. I think there was a little bit of oxide left on them. Yakov's on here. He got hit by a car and got hurt, and never left Zagreb. But we're still, Yakov and I still are working on things together, so we got a plan for some stuff. Hang on a second, guys. I gotta grab something. I am still here, just looking for something. Trying to retension this lock bar lightly without making the action on the blade too stiff. He's okay-ish. I mean, he did get hit by a car. So I'm just cleaning up some stuff so that it comes out just the way I want it. And then toss it in the etch. There's my other hook. I'll make one. Yeah, I'm glad you're okay too, Yakov. Kind of like talking to you occasionally. I can get pretty much anything apart. I would not mess around with the lock bar too much. If you got a little bit of lock rock, what I would do is I would send me a video of it so I can see. I can kind of tell you if it's a good idea or not. Like I just retensioned the lock bar on this, and we're gonna see how it locks up, because the guy was saying the lockup was too stiff, but I think a lot of that has to do with some other stuff. So if you got some lock rock, what I would recommend first, before bending anything, is tighten your pivot. There's a lot of times just tightening your pivot, giving it a little bit of a check and make sure it's tight enough, will take out 90. Elliot and I have come to the conclusion that 99.95% of all fucking lock stick, fucking issues, centering, it's all pivot. We were talking about the other day, so you can fix damn near any knife just by tightening the pivot just a little bit. Just kink, and see. If that doesn't do it, then send me a video of what it's doing. It's called a cryo heat treater, sub-zero quench. And what you do is you are changing the molecular structure of the steel, and you're aligning the stuff. So you're aligning those molecules, and you wind up with you can get a couple points with certain steels. You can get a couple points on the Rockwell hardness scale just by doing cryo. So let's see here. What do we got here? What's the difference between production and custom? Custom's all made by hand. Production, you send it out to a factory and they make it. My Hornets, all custom. These, production. I didn't even touch these. These were made on a machine. They were made on a mill. They were computer programmed in. Every one of them is going to be exactly the same. Custom is just full handmade. That's the difference. They're coming out production. I just don't know how soon. Have you ever had any great East Coast? Yeah. As a matter of fact, I was messing around with one yesterday. We changed the spine profile because it stood up a little too tall for the guy, and so we just took material off the spine of that knife so it wasn't so high. I don't know. You get more consistency. You get more consistency with a production knife. I'm not gonna lie to you. The production Hornets are gonna be better because they're gonna be more consistent than I can do them by hand. You know what I mean? It's custom knives, with the exception of a few people that just want like something special because you can pick handle material and pick your finish and things like that. It wears different. What do you mean? Well, I'm gonna, if you guys buy a fucking production Hornet, if you're gonna buy a production Hornet, that you can get with Matt at Armitage Carry and get a sheath made for it that's exactly like the ones that come with my custom Hornet. Matter of fact, if you're not getting sheaths made by Matt, you're going the wrong direction with shit, because he does amazing work. All right, so now we're gonna set this back up the way it was. We're gonna try and use the Better Anno tank, the Better Anno power supply, because I didn't get what I wanted out of that one. I thought I could, but I did not. So we're gonna walk our way to green with these scales. I know, I've seen some good custom knives. Yes, will hold up, because there's a lot of times the materials are a little bit more on the pricey side. Like, I use micarta in my handles, they're great. But you can, I've seen a lot of custom knives that are just garbage. They really are, and they don't perform the way you want them to, they don't wear the way you want them to, they don't look the way you want them to. And so it's just a matter, a lot of times it's a matter of preference. A lot of people just want that, it's a custom. The best knives I ever carried have been production knives. Matter of fact, I had production knives that pushed my custom knives, well, production and mid-tex, pushed my custom knives completely out of my knife case. I don't even have a custom knife anymore. I don't have one. I have customized knives. the stuff that like Elliot did for me, like my Master Blaster and things like that have been customized, but they're still not a custom knife. Yeah, it's maker's choice. Hang on a second, guys. I gotta plug this thing in. Oh shit. Can't reach. There it is. Got it. Couldn't reach the fucking outlet. Alright, let's see here. I gotta reposition these on this fucking, on this lead. There's bronze. Let's see if I'm getting the colors I want. What, off the Hornet? Yeah. Nope, he's got to tumble longer. Didn't get where I was wanting to go with him. Let's see. Let's just make sure. Let's clean them up real good first. Back into multi-etch with you. So I was in there for another 4 or 5 minutes. All right, guys, I am gonna get off of here. I gotta set some timers and figure out why I'm not getting what I want on this scale. And yeah, we'll come back to this. All right, guys, later.